Hi, my name is Malka. This series is to help you prepare for any type of quantum health session. Today's topic is taking responsibility for the person who you've become. As I see it, we are the culmination of all the decisions we made, the experiences we had, and decisions coming out of them. One way to look at it, if you start in a certain place and you have an experience, and that experience, you make a decision that takes you off in this direction. And from that point, you have another experience that takes you here. And from there, you have another experience that takes you all the way over there. That's will bring you to a certain place in your life. And that's very different than if you had that same experience and made a different decision that maybe took you over here. And from there, you had a different experience because you're in a different place. And that took you over maybe over here. And from that point, you had another experience that took you over there. Well, you end up in two very different places. And the idea here isn't to assign blame. Whatever we do, we're always doing the best we can with the person who we are and the resources that we have at that time. So a 5-year-old who makes the decision and sets their life in a certain direction, you're not going to blame them because they're only 5. They have limited resources, limited knowledge, and they're doing the best they can. So when they set their life in a certain direction, and then the experiences that they have going out from there are also going to be the best they can at that time, whether they're 10 and they're in a difficult place and they make a decision based on the experience, based on the resources, knowledge, whatever at that time. And even if somebody's 25 or 30 and they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they are this personality and they only have certain resources and certain abilities, well, they still make the best decision that they have at that time to go forward with. So one example from my life is when I was around 5 years old. I was at a park playing stickball with my brothers. And well, actually I wanted to be playing stickball with my brothers. I was sitting on the side watching. They wouldn't let me play. They said I wasn't good enough. They said I couldn't throw the ball far enough, but I kept on bothering them until they gave me a chance. And when they gave me a chance, try as hard as I couldn't throw the ball far enough to reach the wall. And I tried and tried, didn't help. Then afterwards, I sat back down on the side, and I was so humiliated and so upset that I made a decision. The decision was that I would never be left out of anything again because I wasn't good enough. And this decision shaped my life going forward. I became very determined. I would work really hard at anything I wanted to do. And anything that I was afraid I might not be good enough, I would just totally avoid. So life became much more serious. I didn't have as much fun with life. I became worried, avoiding things and such. So my life took a certain direction from there. And it really shaped my life going forward until much later on in life when I realized the decision I had made and then was able to make a new decision that going forward from that point, I didn't want to have to be so determined. I wanted to be able to have some fun and just do things because I enjoyed them, not because I had to be really good at them. A very different example was an internee in a Nazi concentration camp during World War II. So this internee had been beat up, was laying on the ground, face up, looking up at the Nazi guard who had beat him up. And the Nazi guard had his boot on the internee's neck and was weighing whether he would snuff out his life or not. Well, as that internee was looking up, he came to this realization that he would much rather be the person who was beat up, laying on the ground, whose life could be snuffed out at any second, than be the person who had beat somebody up, had a boot on the person's neck, and was deciding whether to snuff out a life or not. And you can imagine how this realization would have played into his life going forward, how he would see himself, how he would react, and how he would take his life in a direction based on it. So as we look at our life and the decisions we made, and we come to the realizations of how those decisions affected our life, when there's no guilt, there's no blame. There's just the ability to say, hey, I want to make some conscious decisions now of how I want my life to go forward from here. And once we do that, we can really change our lives in many ways. So, thank you for taking the time to listen. If you'd like to find out more about myself or about the quantum health process I do called the Divine Reveal, you can please check out my website, www.divine, D-I-V-I-N-E, reveal, REVEAL.com. That's one word, thedivinereveal.com. Once again, thank you for your time and have a great day.